visible in nature, felt in our hearts. Rhythms seem to be a part of us. We breathe in and out. The ocean tides rise and fall. The sun and moon follow their paths. The one thing that seems constant is change, and a repetition of that change. But what is the difference between cycles and rhythms? Or are they the same? The English word rhythm comes from the Greek word rhythmos, originally describing the flow of rivers, waves, or the movement of the human body in dance. While both concepts deal with repetition, rhythm often focuses on the timing, pacing, and arrangement within a cycle. Whereas a cycle is more focused on the sequence of events and the completion of a round. The cycle of the sea goes from tide to ebb, but the flowing that happens in between is rhythm. Cycles and rhythms are intertwined. If we were to place melody or pitch in the realm of the cerebral, then rhythm is the embodied counterside to melody. Rhythm as a concept extends beyond music. Its cyclical nature mirrors the patterns of life and our bodies. As Julian Gerstin writes in Rhythm, Pattern and Time, patterns and rhythm are everywhere in nature. They unfold in time, seasons, tide, the orbiting planet, generations of living being, the muscular pulsations of our heart, the electrical impulses of our neurons. They unfold in shapes, flowers, spiderwebs, crystals, cracks in dried mud. We perceive them even when they are impossible to pin down. The fractal branching of trees, the tumultuous layering of clouds, or the swirl of a flock of birds. All unpredictable, yet there. Ambient and drone music seem to embrace these cycles and rhythms deeply. Although they may not have percussive rhythm as we commonly know it, they are full of rhythm. From beginning to end, the sound flows. Modulation and subtle movement keeps ambient and drone music interesting. It mimics slow rhythms and cycles rather than fast-paced ones. Maybe that is why it can have such a calming effect. It teaches us to listen to the slower patterns of life and the hidden cycles buried beneath the fast-paced ones we tend to fill our lives with. However non-linear ambient music can feel, recorded music is still confined to a linear medium. It has a beginning and an end. Ambient music can be a spiritual experience, precisely because it suggests a cycle larger than the piece itself, as though the music is just a cutout of something vast. A clear beginning, middle, and end seems to be so human. It mirrors our own cycle and lifespan. The moment the suggestion of forever, immortality, or a larger whole is introduced, we associate it with the infinite, the numinous. Much like how cathedrals are designed with long, everlasting reverb, to stretch the lifespan of a mere human voice and turn it into something divine. Ambient music is interesting exactly because it tries to challenge the linearity of its own medium. Where traditional percussive rhythm becomes interesting is when it adopts that same mentality. Rather than a clear beginning, middle, and end, some musical traditions employ an accumulative form, one long stretch with no clear sections, intertwined repetition, and variation that slowly builds intensity. There's no destination, only forward. Repetition becomes a way of suspending the listener in a state between the conscious and the unconscious. A state in which rational thought begins to loosen, making way for quieter signals from the unconscious to surface. So rhythm is a way of understanding time, change, and flow. It is measured movement beneath all things. That is why my favorite way of visualizing rhythm is a wheel, a circular interface. Everything flows, out and in. Everything has its tides. All things rise, and all things fall.